Hello. In today's video lesson, we're going to be talking about calories, and specifically how many calories you need to subtract or add to your daily total to either lose or gain weight. This is going to be an add-on to a previous video I did, and if I'm doing this right, there's going to be a link appearing somewhere on the screen. But do know that when we get through this today, you're going to be seeing that a pound of weight loss per week is the healthy weight loss amount that dietitians and medical professionals suggest. Any more than that, you're probably losing muscle mass and it's not a safe weight loss. Now, you've probably heard of people or friends that lose 3 pounds the first week, 5 pounds the first week. Just remember, a lot of that's water weight. And it's also your poo. Because if you're not eating a lot the first week, trying to diet pretty hard, you're going to be losing some stuff in the bathroom. And that's not going to be sustainable. So if you see people that do a yearly weight loss, you find out that they lose about 50 pounds in a year, 25 pounds in 6 months. That average is 1 pound a week. So let's take a look at this, and I will see you on the other side.
Okay. This part of the video lesson, we're going to be talking about the calories we need to gain or lose weight and how many calorie deficit that needs to be. So this screen is from our previous video, but I compressed it down a little bit, and we'll talk about why in a few minutes. Let's start out over here on the upper left-hand side. This person we're going to be talking about for the remainder of the video is, we're assuming 5 feet, 5 inches, and 145 pounds. We did that because we wanted to find basically a small male or a slightly taller female at 145 pounds. We converted for the formulas everything into kilograms. Basically, that's the weight divided by 2.2. And the height in centimeters is the total inches times 2.54. Here, we're assuming 20% body fat makes it kind of an average male or a leaner female. And then to find out their lean body mass, we're subtracting that 20% from 100, which leaves us the 80% left over. This lean body mass is really important because now we take that and multiply it by their kilogram body weight, and we're learning that they are 52.7 kilograms of lean body mass. And the reason why that's important is because the Katch-McArdle equation here is the same for male and female, and it's all based 100% on the amount of lean body mass a person has. So the formula you're seeing is 370 plus 21.55 times that lean body mass in kilograms. So what they computed is that everything is really based on that lean body mass. So if you got older and you lost body muscle, well, then you'd be eating less calories. If you're an athlete at 10% body fat, well, then you would have more lean body mass. At 90%, you need more calories. If you're a female at 25% body fat, less calories than somebody the same height, the same weight at 15% body fat. So it's very interesting, but we're going to focus on this one because it seems to be most accurate, knowing that muscle is what's driving your calories and your calorie burning. When we move to the right, we left this here on moderately active, and basically what we're doing is stealing from above this activity factor and multiplying it times the 1507, and that gives us the total calories for the day if this person was moderately active. And moderately active is basically somebody who is running or biking 30 to 40 minutes, each evening after work. But let's consider if they weren't doing that, if they're this height, weight, and this lean body mass, what's happening when they're lightly active, which is probably just going to work, food shopping, little things that are just using your muscles, but not physically going to the gym or doing some sort of exercise specifically. Well, notice it drops down to the 2,000 calories that we're all familiar with. This is what the food labels are based on, pretty much right on target for that for an average height person and average body fat. But when I bring it back up to moderately active, it only adds about 300 calories more, which is interesting to know, but very clear to understand that when you run 3 miles, it's about 100 calories per mile that you're burning. So there is the moderately active person who needs to maintain their weight would add about 300 calories more to their diet to keep their weight on. Now let's jump across to the far right. We're going to stop over and review the protein requirements. Since we're moderately active, we're going to use the easy number of 1.0 0.60 grams per kilogram, and that turns out to be 66 grams per day. I want to stop off and just say that meat is about 7 grams of protein per ounce. So really here, you're only needing about 9.4 ounces of protein coming from meat sources per day. But knowing that you get protein from a lot of other places, cottage cheese, regular cheese, milk, eggs, yogurts, that your intake of protein from meat sources is really not that demanding. So keep that in mind when we talk about how many grams of protein you need, where you might be getting it from. This is the article from PubMed, which is an NIH government website. You can go there to learn how we got these protein factors computed. And now let's go down to the bottom and look at the line here with the percentages. We're going to go right straight to the 66 grams of protein where we left off. And 66 grams of protein times 4, because it's 4 calories per gram, is 264 calories of protein per day. And that fraction of the total 2335 is 11%. If we use the standard 30% for the fat calories, lipids, that 30% of the total calories is 701. And dividing that by 9 calories per gram, you have 78 grams of lipids. Lastly, we're just taking the two percentages that we just did, 30 and 11, subtracting them from 100, and that gives us a 59% left over for carbohydrate. 59% of the 2335 is 1371. And lastly, you divide that by 4, and that gives you how many grams of carbohydrate you need each day. On this screen, what we're going to just do is take the activity factors and put them sideways so we can actually compute all 5 of them and see how they change for a person at each of those levels. So next what we have on the screen is just a sample day of some calories for 3 meals and 3 snacks. Putting in 500 for each meal and 200 for each snack is just a general example. Totals 2,100 calories for the day. Now, matching with the activity factor above, if you take the 1507 basal metabolic rate and times it by the sedentary activity level, this person being sedentary, bedridden almost, would be 1,808 calories. We're back to the person being lightly active, going to work, food shopping maybe, something very light, 2,000 calories about, which is the standard. So that kind of shows where those numbers come from. Now we're going to add in a few calories because the person is doing some activity during the day or after work, 30, 40 minutes of something. Here, if they're a little bit more active, very active, we're multiplying it times 1.725, getting them up to almost 2,600 calories, and nearly doubling it if they were extra active or the athlete. What this line now here is showing is, are they above or below the calories they needed for the day? So they need, for being the sedentary lifestyle, 1,808, but they took in 2,100, so they were over by 292. Here they're almost getting close. They're at 2,071 is what they needed. They ate 2,100. They're 29 over. But now we're seeing a deficit forming. They should have been eating 2,335. They ate 2,100. 235 was the deficit. Almost 500 deficit here for the day. And a much larger deficit, 762 for the athlete. Well, the real part of this video that's important to know is that fat is 3,500 calories per pound. It's a great number because it divides by 7 very easily. Its 500 calories per day deficit would lead to a 1 pound of fat weight loss per week. And that's the goal. Dietitians look for about 1 pound of weight loss is healthy. Anything more, you'll probably be starting to lose muscle, which is not something you want. You want to keep your muscle on your body and not have that being lost. Because if you lose muscle and not fat, you're actually becoming a higher body percentage of fat, which is not what you want. Even though your weight's going down, you're actually becoming fat or percentage wise. So really keeping it as a 1 pound weight loss a week is what you do want to see. And if you ever see anyone who has a video or a website that says, I lost 50 pounds a year, that's 1 pound a week. And that's a decent amount to do. 1 pound a week is very, very, very good to achieve. So now let's look what this person would be doing, gaining or losing weight. Well, we're a little bit over half of 500 with a 292, which means they're gaining about half a pound, a little bit more per week with the diet lifestyle they have. Here, we're pretty close to being on track. They were getting only 29 calories extra, so they're pretty tight and they're holding steady with that, gaining only 0.06 pounds per day in the math that we're seeing here. But now we move over to somebody who's getting some weight loss happening. Here they are. They're at that moderate level, and their deficit from the 2100 they ate to the 2335 that they needed, they're at a deficit of 235. Again, a little bit less than half 500. So they're losing about half a pound a week. This one, very clear to understand, 500 calorie deficit leads to that 1 pound of weight loss a week, multiplying that times 7 days a week doing that. And lastly, you see that this athlete, a little bit more than is recommended, but just to show you the math, they're doing 1.5 times the 500 roughly here they're missing, and that's 1.5 pounds of weight loss per week. So do know that everybody is different. The calories you need based on a lot of factors, but these formulas we mentioned in the previous video that were about 80% accurate of what you need because everyone's body is different. Everyone has different enzymes, gut bacteria, different organ sizes that might affect things, lung capacity, a lot of different things come into play. So when you're trying these numbers out, if you decide that eating 2,100 calories and exercising on a day like that is going to be 2,600 calories, great. If you do that 7 days for the week and find out that you're losing a little bit less than you want, you might need to bump those calories down a little bit more and try to get into that 500 calorie deficit per day. Now, what I want to just leave off with is if, let's say the athlete wanted to gain weight, it's the exact opposite. You really want to be eating about 500 calories more a day to put a pound on per week. So simply enough, if I just quickly go in here and put in that this person ate 3,350 calories, 3,350 calories, this person would gain about a pound a week. There's that almost 500 calories a day, which would almost be 1 pound a week. So both things are about the same. You want to gain or lose weight pretty much at the same rate, which is about a pound a week.
Well, that wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about this topic. Losing weight, gaining weight, it's kind of complicated if you don't understand the basics of it. And hopefully you saw how that's achieved by subtracting out that 500 calories each day from your diet to lose safely 1 pound of weight loss per week. And then the opposite being true of gaining 1 pound of weight per week if you're looking to do that. So I'd like to thank everybody so far who subscribed to the channel. If you haven't yet subscribed and wish to be notified, please click the subscribe button and also the bell icon for notification, and you'll be alerted every time a new video is coming out. What we're working on next is food labels and all the different parts of the label and what they mean. And another tandem project like this video was, we're going to be doing one on fats, because fats are, not a complicated topic, but there are all different types of fats that are in the diet. There's saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, essential fats. You'll hear of things probably omega-3 fatty acids, omega-6 fatty acids. So we're going to go into detail about that and give you a clear explanation of what those things are. Down below in the details part of the video is the link to my Patreon page. If you can, please support me there as well so I can continue these efforts and give you good information that helps you support your healthy lifestyle. And as always, thanks for watching.